Yo, what's up? It's the one and only HipHopGamer, Hot 97, bringing you that exclusive from Capcom. We about to talk about some Devil May Cry. We about to get into it. I'm like completely blessed to have this opportunity, to talk to y'all once again. So I want to give a big shout out to my homegirl Stephanie. I've known her for a good minute. She's amazing. So congratulations to you. And my boy Ray, what's going on, son? That's what we about to talk to about this. So introduce yourself and let the fans know who you are, what you do, and why we excited for Devil May Cry, the definitive edition.
Yeah, right on. My name is Ray Jimenez. I'm a producer here at Capcom. I've been here for quite a long time. I'm working as a producer on the Capcom side for Devil May Cry, or DMC Devil May Cry Definitive Edition. We've actually talked a long time ago. I've been at Capcom for a long time, so we've talked a number of times over the years, so it's good to talk to you again.
Yeah, man, I can't. Quick question: Are you coming to E3 this year?
I go to E3 every year.
All right, cool. Bet. Cause I want to make sure I get a chance to see you. You know what I'm saying? Bug out, spend some time and just, talk real quick, in person. I don't get a chance to see everybody because, I'm on the East Coast. I don't be, traveling as much as I would like to. But I'm going to try to pick that up, in the future. So let's get right to it, man. The first question is, what made you guys decide to officially move with this project? And also, what's the goal of this release in terms of what you want, in terms of feedback and everything, and moving this franchise into a higher position.
Right. So we have tons and tons of games we could have decided to do this treatment to. The idea is that we wanted to take a game and that was still very current, that it still had a lot of fast action, that could still have a lot of benefit from moving on to the new consoles, which we think, Devil May Cry definitely had that opportunity because the type of game it was and with the type of technology it was using just on the PS3 and 360, you couldn't really maximize its potential. So we really wanted to have that game come back while it's still, it's been a while, it's been a couple of years, but it's still fresh in people's minds. We wanted to bring that, we were able to, while it's still fresh in developers' mind, able to revisit the things that we wanted to do and do it correct, or have more, be able to put more time into certain things. And since the fans are still playing it, we could also incorporate a lot of their feedback and some of their comments into it. So, I worked on games where we kind of remastered. Like I just worked on DuckTales remaster, where we really took an old game and brought it to a newer console. There's always that way, but then. There's always the route of taking a game that's still pretty new, but, putting it on a new system where it could really shine to its maximum potential. And I think that's what we really had a good opportunity to do here.
So what's the main things that you guys were able to get done on the definitive edition as opposed to what we saw and played and experienced on the PS3 and 360? Is there a few key items you could point out to the fans that the moment they pop the game in, that they'll instantly notice that's different, from what they played before?
Right. Well, actually, the first thing we need to notice is that it looks and plays better. We're utilizing higher resolution and higher fidelity assets in art and sound, so it's going to look and sound better. Also, as well, it's going to be running at 1080p, of course, but also 60 frames per second, which we were not able to do technically on the previous ones. So that's what you're immediately going to notice, but the combat designer had a lot of time to really put in a lot of tweaks to the game itself and add some new content to the game that's going to make it more challenging or make it play a little different than you remembered. So, we're hoping that you're going to get a lot of challenge, not just from increased difficulty, but some of the tweaks, some of the things that may have bothered you in the previous game. Hopefully we caught that and fix that as well, so you'll have a more enjoyable experience.
I'm feeling that. Now, one of the things I wanted to tell you guys about the DMC game, the Devil May Cry game, period, I thought it was very genius the way you guys did the levels. There was parts of the game where I'm running and the level is closing in and shit, and I'm like, yo, this is the adrenaline rush for real. I wish I was able to play the game in front of the entire development team just to show them how much I appreciate them in the game as I was playing it. The shit was fire. Like, it's that whole idea was so great. So like what I wanted to ask you guys is, how did that idea spark? Like how did that even come about? Because I think that right there is something that really separated Devil May Cry from the other ones that ever came out before.
Yeah, actually, you're actually asking the right person, because I happen to have been attached to the project early in the original release, so I kind of saw a lot of the documentation and the design notes of why they wanted to do this, and a lot of that came around, like the morphing world and how it changes. That came around specifically because they wanted to have that duality, because you have the angel-demon duality as well as the normal world in Limbo.
Oh, right.
And it was really like, how can they really make that transition from Limbo to the human world and back again really striking, really jarring to the player. It's not just a simple fade out and fade into another level or to another world. They really want it to be thrust in your face. So, the main idea was making a dramatic effect to the player when they go into Limbo and how it's going to affect the world. So that's pretty much the inspiration for that.
Okay. Now, the next question I got for you is actually regarding Bayonetta and Devil May Cry. And reason why I said that is because Bayonetta and Devil May Cry, I feel they complement each other extremely well. From combat design, feel, and even a personality. Between Bayonetta and a personality between a Dante or a Nero or someone like that. So my thing is, would you guys ever consider doing a crossover title with Platinum Games if the opportunity was right and it presented itself? Because I think that's one of the things that the industry as a whole is lacking. I feel that more companies should come together and do things together, because you don't understand. I mean, obviously you do understand. I'm sorry, you producer, like, you do understand. But when you guys create games, like the creativity that goes into it, like, I play all these games all the time, and I'm just so blown away by some of the things that I've experienced on so many levels from so many different people. And I just wish that there's some times where y'all could come together, form like Voltron, and do something that nobody has never seen before, in terms of those collaborative minds coming together to create. I think Bayonetta and Devil May Cry is a perfect blend of that. So if the opportunity did present itself from the Capcom side of things and your side of things, how would that work out? How would you envision that? Would you even do it?
Well, first off, I'm a real big fan of Bayonetta. I didn't play 2, but I did play 1. I really enjoyed it, and I actually I'm sure you know the history of Platinum Games, but I've actually worked with a lot of the guys from Platinum when they were still at Capcom, so I'm very familiar with them and the guys in the team that worked there, and they're a really cool bunch of guys. And this can be an official Capcom thing, but personally, as a developer and a gamer, I would love to see that. And how that would happen, I mean, that would just simply be the most insane gonzo action you'd ever see, with tag teaming back and forth and switching and combos and hair dragging attacks with stylish Dante or whoever coming in and doing stuff. So that would be kind of an action dream come true, man.
Yo.
That's more of my personal thing. And I'm sure Capcom is always up to doing really cool things. I don't know if this would ever happen, but I can't deny that the thought of it would be totally mind-blowing and epic.
Yo, see, you said exactly what a lot of gamers feel, man. You know what I'm saying? And I always like to ask questions like that, because I want companies to know that this can be done. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of, people out there that would fund this, or the funding of it could be easier, because you probably take half from one company, half from the other, so it's not a strain on just one. I just feel like there's strength in numbers when it comes to that. That's just my idea, and it's good to hear your feedback and even possibilities, from a combat design, just the way you talked about that tag team stuff. I think that creates conversation within these forums.
That would be dope. I think that tag team thing would be dope.
That shit would be insane, man. So the next question I got for you is, it's the trifecta. The trifecta of Dante, Nero, and Virgil. I think there are some incredible characters that's been created. Now, what I want to ask you, Street Fighter V has been announced. People have, well, not people have played it, but gameplay has been shown, you know what I'm saying? And Street Fighter V has been announced, you know, PC, PS4 exclusive. Now, my thing is this. Do you guys see, or is there a chance, you know, that Dante, Nero, or Virgil could actually end up being a playable character in this upcoming Street Fighter V? Or even, have you thought about the franchise being a part of a big budget motion picture movie? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like, I mean, I just got big high hopes for this franchise. That's why I put it out there like that.